All right, students, it's Miss Whitaker back at you again, live for Thursday, April 23rd. Today's lesson's multiplying fractions, but you already did dividing fractions a couple weeks ago, so this should be pretty easy because you don't have to flip anything, you don't have to change anything because you're already multiplying. So let's talk about multiplying fractions. If I am multiplying 1/4 times, let's say, 5/7, okay? When I multiply, you do not have to have the bottom numbers to be the same, so that's actually very nice. You don't have to make them both 7 or both 4. All you gotta do is you're multiplying straight across on the top and the bottom. So multiply across, give it all you got. So what we're going to do is we're going to say 1 times 5, which is 5. And then we're going to say 4 times 7, which is 28. So my answer is going to be 5/28, and I cannot simplify that any further. Let's say I have another problem. Let's do 3/4 times, let's say, 8/12. Let's go with that. Now, one thing that you can do now that you know you're multiplying across is you can simplify ahead of time before you get your answer. Because why would you want to simplify ahead of time? You want to simplify ahead of time because you're working with smaller numbers. I'm only working with numbers up to 12 here, where when I multiply straight across, I'm going to have bigger numbers. I'm going to have 24 and 48. So I would rather go ahead and multiply with the smaller numbers that I have, but you can only, I would rather simplify with the smaller numbers I have. Now this is the rule with simplifying. You can only simplify one numerator with a denominator. You can't do a numerator with a numerator. This is a numerator and a numerator, or denominator and a denominator. It has to be a numerator with a denominator. You can do a numerator with a denominator. It doesn't matter if they're diagonal. So I'm going to go ahead and look and see, can I simplify anywhere here? Yes, I can simplify this 3 and this 12. I can divide them both by 3. 3 divided by 3 is 1, and 12 divided by 3 is 4. So now I'm going to do 1 and I'm going to do 4. Can I simplify anything else? Yes, you can simplify these two numbers. I can simplify both of those by 4. So 4 divided by 4 is 1, and 8 divided by 4 is 2. So now this is my new simplified problem. I'm going to do 1/1 times, oh, I just caught something. I can simplify these 2 and this 4. I can divide both of these by 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1, and 4 divided by 2 is 2. So technically I'm doing 1/1 times 1/2, which gives me 1/2. Okay? You can also, when you're multiplying fractions, you have to be very careful because if I have a mixed number, this is an example of a mixed number times a fraction, I have to change it to an improper. I cannot multiply mixed numbers. And we do that by doing the check mark. So I would say 1 times 2 is 2. 1 times 2 is 2 plus 1. And that would be 3. And you always keep your bottom number. So it'd be 3/2. 3/4 is not a mixed number, so I just multiply 3/4 is 3/4. I look and I say, can I simplify? No, I would get 9/8, which you can leave it improper or you can change it back to a mixed number, which would be 1 1/8. How do I get 1 1/8? You divide 8 into 9. It goes one time, and you would have 1 left over, so 1 out of 8 will be left over. What if I have two mixed numbers? What do I do then? So if I have 2 1/4 times 1 1/3, again, you have to do the check mark with both of them now. So 2 times 4 is 8, plus 1 is 9, and I keep my bottom number. 1 times 3 is 3, plus 1 is 4, and I keep my bottom number. And as you can see, I can go ahead and simplify a little bit here. I can simplify these 4s, and I can divide them both by 4. So 4 divided by 4 is 1, and 4 divided by 4 is 1. I can simplify the 3 and the 9. I can divide them both by 3. 3 divided by 3 is 1. 9 divided by 3 is 3. So now I'm going to be doing 3 times 1, and then on the bottom will be 1 times 1, which would give me 3 over 1, which I can keep it that, or I can change it back to a mixed number, which will just be 3. Okay? So that pretty much talks about everything you need to know for this lesson. So just remember, if it's a mixed number, you want to change it to an improper. And if it says in simplest form or reduce, that means you got to find what number can you divide into both of them. So I hope you have a good afternoon. Don't forget, Friday is your assessment, and I'll be covering all the things that we did this week. So all 3 videos I've done. Hope have a good afternoon.